For our case presentation, we had the company P&G. My name is Jake Wenzel.
And I'm Alex Oshana. For starters, let's give you guys an overview of the company. P&G, also known as Procter & Gamble, has been around for over 180 years. So long, they actually invented brand management. P&G markets 48 brands, and 99% of households use at least one P&G product. It is the biggest consumer goods company in the world with over 5 billion users. They mainly focus on cleaning supplies, which is genius because it creates a gigantic market for themselves.
And for some strengths on P&G, for starters, there are more than 300 brands globally, which are available in over 180 countries worldwide. 24 of those brands have an annual sales revenue worth well over $1 billion. And P&G are major sponsors in many sporting and entertainment events. In the year 2020 alone, P&G spent $4.7 billion on advertising and $440 million on product placement alone. Also, P&G has received many awards across its brands, including the Best Workplace for Innovators Award in 2019 and 2020, as well as the Best Sustainable Package Innovation Award in 2019 and 2020. And they also have excellent availability through supermarkets, grocery stores, online, and etc.
Although P&G has grown to become one of the biggest companies around the world, it still has its fair shares of weaknesses. For starters, in many foreign countries, there have been numerous scandals with false products being distributed due to its popularity and high demand. They themselves have also had a very high recall rate on their products. And everyone knows recalls result into a loss of money as a company. They also have very high competition with big name competitors like Colgate, L'Oreal, Palmolive, and Mauricio.
For some opportunities for P&G, P&G is able to acquire and obtain a lot of different companies through many different mergers and acquisitions. And as you can see in the bottom right, we included a picture of their most recent acquisition, which is the product called Tula, which falls under their personal care category they like to focus on. And Tula is a holistic skincare routine. They also have the ability to create purchasing power, which in turn can increase the demand for their products. And then also another opportunity that they have that many people seem to overlook is that they have a strong name, a reputation to uphold, and a history of success. And both of those things are very important for companies because for P&G, for example, a lot of companies are going to want their product in their store because of how recognizable it is and how well known they are for providing a good product for many years, because if they weren't able to do that, they wouldn't be around for as long as they have been. And then for some threats the company has, it is a global company, as we have discussed before, therefore it has meant to compete with many international brands, but also it must compete with unbranded and local products as well. So the company has internal, like global, has domestic affairs to worry about. They have to worry about all the local products people are making, and that's one threat they have to worry about. And then internationally, they have to worry about all these international brands that are going to try and come in and undercut their prices. So they're really fighting a battle on both fronts, which is very hard for them to do, but they've managed to do it very well so far. Also, since it is a global company, it has to take into account other external factors such as recessions, fluctuating dollar prices, and economic crises. So companies that are as big as P&G have to worry about these things because they have their product placement in a country that is going through like a recession or even like a Great Depression like the United States went through. Their product isn't going to sell as well. So they need to be able to monitor that and stay on top of it and adapt what products they're putting into there, because if the country is in the middle of a recession, not a lot of companies are going to want to buy perfume and scented laundry detergents. So they're going to need to be able to adapt and see where they need to make changes throughout the world.
In conclusion, we can see that P&G has a lot of pros in their favor due to the growing aspects in internationally and in other countries around the world. However, that also leads them to be more susceptible to having many problems as well. It's like the scandals we were talking about earlier, because the wider you spread, the harder it is to manage everything, and there's more room for error. Continued adaptations with advertising and marketing is key to the company's success. Being able to have household names such as like Tide products and like stuff like that make it a lot easier for people to lean towards those products when they walk into stores and they see them, because it's just they can trust it because they know it.
And then another thing they have to worry about is accessibility with clientele, despite the size of the company, is also paramount if it wants to move forward in a positive direction. As we've talked about earlier, with the scandals involving like knockoff products, they have to be able to respond to customer demands. And because they're such a big company, they have to worry about this in a lot more ways than other companies do, because they have such a large amount of product they push out that they're just naturally going to receive more complaints. So for them to stay on top of that and be able to manage all those complaints and improve and adapt, that is going to be quintessential for the company to move forward, to go forward. And then lastly, with growing concern for environmental impact that products have, the company has to find ways to make their products more sustainable. And for P&G in particular, a lot of their products like Charmin and Bounty are paper-based products. And as we know, that is becoming a huge concern for a lot of customers, because customers will make decisions on what products they want to buy if they're economically friendly or not. And so for P&G, if they don't adapt and don't make their products more economically friendly, they're going to lose out on a huge customer market that isn't going to want to deal with them, because they're not adapting and making their products more sustainable in the long run. And also, if they make their products more sustainable, it'll be better for them too, because then their products will be able to last longer when these natural resources begin to die out, as we've been seeing.
In conclusion, we can see that P&G has done a wonderful job at marketing their brand and really making sure that they're in all countries around the world by having 5 billion users across the world. However, it is essential for them to make sure that their products also line up with the credibility of the name around the world, rather than just in the U.S., because to avoid recalls and unsatisfied customers, everything needs to be up to par even after it's distributed to third parties.
And that was our case presentation on P&G. We hope you enjoyed.